Yeah, Roman's up. Go CryptoLions. I invited you and you'll appear soon. Go Roman. Yeah. I really like the name CryptoLions, by the way. Hello.
Hello, Orkin.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for participating here. How are you?
I'm doing great. Huge thanks to you and the rest of the team. You guys are making it look easy, and it's no small task to do something this big.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much. So are you ready to talk?
I think so. I thought I would talk about our current projects, including the two that you just mentioned, and then one upcoming project that I think is really neat.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. Let's see if I can share my screen. All right.
Yeah, we see it.
Awesome. So CryptoLions has been managing the jungle testnet since all the way back in April. I like to use the word curating because the strength of the jungle testnet is the community there. It's an absolute privilege to work with many of those folks. Just today, we found out that version 1.2 is not stable. We pushed it here first. A lot of things broke, so that is not getting pushed back out to the main net. That's going back to the drawing board. And what we're doing now is that we are looking for 16 good block producers. This is my first call to action. There will be another one later. If you are a block producer and you want to commit to being very responsive and on the ball and following our Telegram channel, then please contact Bogdan at CryptoLions. There's his email address. What we want to do is resign the EOS IO key. So we still have central control of the jungle testnet, and we want to resign that so block producers have control. We're looking for 16. The reason we want to do this is so that we can test multi-sig stuff. So for example, this past week, we tested pseudo, but we tested it by signing, pseudo actions with the EOS IO key. We want block producers to do that instead. And this, this work, this call to action is not without incentive. There will be a jungle testnet t-shirt, an awesome limited edition exclusive jungle testnet t-shirt for the block producers that become these 16 reliable, responsive guys helping us curate the community. So that's one thing. You also mentioned Orchid, our network monitor. This has a whole team on it, and we're making it better and better, including performance and making sure that the statistics are right. One interesting thing that we did recently was we took a look at this stat right here, the all-time high. It's huge. It's so flattering to see screenshots of this all-time high on Reddit and elsewhere. Previously, it was taking for granted a half-second block time, but now, some blocks take longer, so we no longer do that. That's fixed. And we're pushing it out now so that if a block takes a really long time, we adjust the TPS. That update will happen today. So it's a lot of little things. Just there's a lot of nuances of capturing the data, and we want to get them all right because we want to, we want this to be the place where people go for the current status of the network. We don't want to be a block explorer. There are a lot of awesome block explorers out there. One of my favorites is blocks.io from the great guys at Hong Kong and Calgary. This project is for the current status and health of the network. Hyperion, I think, is going to be another awesome way to get the current status of the network. All right, we have Zeos. It's a cool place where you can create an EOS account without having any EOS. You can pay for your RAM using Bitcoin or Ethereum. Our current project now is to translate this and put it in Korean, Chinese, Spanish, Russian, and maybe a few other languages as well. We have some tools for block producers, including a nifty little Telegram notification bot, one of many such projects that are out there. And we've been participating in the governance chats, but we are consciously doing that less, not because it doesn't interest me. I am extremely interested in governance. In fact, I earned my first Bitcoin writing for a libertarian magazine all the way back in 2012 when the exchange rate was $2. So these are topics near and dear to my heart. But man, that governance channel, like, it's just so many people, and you need to put so much energy into consensus building. It's just more fun. It's more our style to just build things, try things, break things, experiment. So with that in mind, we are building a small tool that we think can have a lot of effects. And my second call to action today will be to ask people to join me and create a little community around this tool if it interests you. And that tool, let me share my screen again. That tool is truth and performance bonds. All right, you can make a promise and you can guarantee that promise by securing real value in the form of EOS tokens. Governance, I think, has some problems. Governance, I think, has a enlightenment bias. We have these fabulous declarations of principles like no lying, but that's not what law was in its original incarnation. If you look at something like Hammurabi's Code, or even some books of the Old Testament, the original incarnations of law was punishment, was standardizing punishment. But we have the EOS Constitution, which has no punishment at all, just principles, like no lying. So we announce no lying with great fanfare and celebration, but it's completely not clear what to do when somebody looks you in the face, tells you a bold-faced lie, and then smiles at you, because there's no system of punishment. There's even this idea coming from Dan Larimer that we won't have punishment at all. We will only have like restitution, which I'm not sure if that's a good idea. But in any case, I think the EOS law needs to mature, or the society needs to mature. So there are two options. We could either introduce punishments together with our laws, or we could build reputation systems, which is a lot more fun because it's voluntary. And here is our reputation system, or sort of a, not even a reputation system. This can grow into one. This is a way of securing your promises. Is my screen share working? I think it is.
No, it's actually not working.
All right.
I think you have to do it again.
There we go again.
Yeah.
Okay. So EOS truth and performance bonds. We will have our own system of judges. We will have a cool interface for searching promises, including promises that you can make claims against, kind of like a bug bounty program. And I'll walk you through the UI for making promises. First, you specify a period of your promise, a start date and a time period. And there's an automatic grace period after the promise in which people can still make claims. You specify how many tokens you will use to secure your promise. Some defaults. I will obey the EOS Constitution, or you can make your own statement. I think it would be really cool if we also had like maybe standardize some block producer promise here, like something special for block producers, like I will do these things. It would be cool if we had sort of named packages of promises. I think that would make it a lot simpler. Here you can further specify your identity. CryptoLions, block producers, account CryptoLions 1. I think I'm lagging a little bit. All right, some conditions and assumptions. I think the goal here is just to box people in against slippery, imprecise language. No lying, no misleading, no being vague. Here you can specify who can make claims against your promise. Anyone is the boldest choice. That gives it sort of the nature of a bug bounty program where anyone can go and kind of sue you. You can specify certain accounts, or you can make a description, like, for example, my customers. You can specify who is the beneficiary. Let's say you get caught broken a promise. Do the funds go to the person making the claim? Do they go to particular accounts, or do they get burned? And you can specify two parties as the beneficiaries. You can specify partial violations, like so you don't lose your whole bond if sort of the violation was caused by inclement weather. You get a chance to define a partial violation. You can select from among the judges if you want to have a default judge. And then you send the transaction. There's a fee associated. And there you go. The technical side of this is actually quite straightforward. We have asked for help, and we're talking to a few other block producers about helping us build a community of judges. I don't think it's that hard either. And we'll also be interested in standardizing the promises. We don't want to own this project. We want to give up ownership slowly, but we want to sort of bring it into existence. And we're going to put a minimum product on the table and then create a community around it to make it better. And I think make it firstly something that block producers want to use to guarantee their performance to the community, and then grow from there, grow outside the bounds of EOS and grow outside the bounds of the crypto community. I want to see within 2 years journalists using this to sort of rise above this storm of fake news and say, look, if we find any lies in our articles, you can have this money. I want to see a politician using this to guarantee their promises. How awesome would that be if a politician, in order to outcompete his rival or her rival, posted a bond saying, look, here's $1 million guarantee that I'm not going to break my promises. I think that would be stupendous. And I would like for my children and grandchildren for this idea that you secure your promises to be just another part of the world, kind of like insurance is for us today. We've all had some interaction with insurance. It's even hard to imagine a world without insurance. So I would like for my children and grandchildren for them to have a hard time imagining a world in which you didn't secure your promises. I think that would be awesome. And honestly, it doesn't seem that hard to build. The technical side is easy. The community of judges is a little tricky, but we can do that with the reputation system. And the first customers, I think, will be thrilled to be a part of this. I think the first customers will be block producers. So I don't know. So let's try. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's easy enough to build that I can put it to the test. Right now, if you want to join the community, please email me here, Roman@CryptoLions. Oh, I stopped sharing my screen, didn't I? Please email me at Roman@CryptoLions. And that's about it. That's what we are doing. Those are our 4 main projects right now. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for inviting me to Ignite.
Well, Roman, that is really impressive. Yeah. So when will the trust fund would be up and running?
We're going to have a product in 1 or 2 more months. The technical side is really easy. The hard part is maturing the community so that people kind of have it in their heads how it works. Because we all hate learning new stuff. So it needs to be like simple and packaged and presentable, and there needs to be a common language among, a core group so that we all understand. But
Sure.
The product, 1 or 2 months, and the product is the easiest part of this. Once the product is up in 1 or 2 months, we'll invite discussion, create yet another Telegram channel
Sure.
for everyone to
It
follow.
feels like it needs a separate channel in Telegram.
Yeah, it will, but I want to have an MVP before we build that community.
Of
Hey,
course, of course.
It's Blockmate.
Hey, Pete.
Hey there, how you doing?
Great, great. So let's.
Last idea is eventually we want to give up control for this by airdropping some token, but we don't want to airdrop the token on bad players. So it would be awesome if there was another reputation system and we would only airdrop the token which gives you control of truth bonds onto people who have behaved well. And I love the idea of dApps doing that type of thing to start exerting social pressure for good behavior.
That would be perfect. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's really great idea. Awesome idea.
Thank you, Orchid. I can't wait to hear what Pete says. I love this guy.
Yeah.
I like that.
So,
That was awesome.
yeah, we'll see you around, Roman.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Bye.